So it is starting and the timing is not surprising. What am I talking about? Well, I've just retweeted on Twitter, by the way, my handle is _mm85 if you go there, an announcement or news that Xin Lihong, the president of NIO, has announced that at some point NIO is going to start charging for swapping and for charging services, so for NIO Power. And this is just the first step, I think, of introducing a new pricing model over time that will replace the current free battery swaps that have been given to the early adopters of NIO so far. By the way, here's the NIO and a Model X side by side. Anyways, back to it. So there has been lots of talk around how NIO is investing so much money into battery swapping and charging infrastructure while giving out free battery swapping. Well, I always thought of as this being a marketing measure, to be honest. And why is that not surprising? Well, because Tesla has done the exact same thing. So if you've been an early Model S and Model X customer for Tesla, then you would enjoy free supercharging for your lifetime. And now you would say, well, this is just the couple of Model X and S owners. But I've looked at it, I've looked at the stats, and actually Tesla has sold around 300,000 cars that were eligible for it. And 300,000 cars, yes, this is right, the same number as NIO has cars on the road right now. By the way, here's another ET5. Anyways, not only did Tesla give free supercharging. Hell, here's another NIO. What's going on here? Free supercharging to the first 300,000 Model S and Model X customer, but also did they give away, for example, free Roadster and lots of other benefits for people who, for example, referred new customers. So for Tesla, you never hear anybody saying this is an investment or there's cash burn for it. Whereas for NIO, you hear a lot about, well, they're building all of these battery swap stations and they give those free gimmicks to people. Whereas actually, under the line so far, this is really the exact same thing that Tesla has done. And of course, Tesla is or was in a different situation. Back then the market was less developed, and now in NIO's case the market is even more competitive, right? And of course they need to accommodate for that somehow, but really the bottom line here must be that this, of course, at some point is turning into a revenue generating machine that is unique to NIO here in this regard, because they are building the infrastructure in a way that other startups, EV startups, are not doing. NIO is building out even now 500 kilowatt chargers, so super fast chargers. Lots of NIO power chargers are being used by other brands as well, and in the future you can be sure that new NIO customers will have to pay for battery swaps and for supercharging. This will just become a normal revenue generating business, and on top of that, I think battery swapping allows for even more business model approaches. For example, for the energy arbitrage trading, when the battery swap station actually becomes part of the grid and helps to balance out the grid and playing a role in the energy system. Something very unique that only can be done with battery swapping, and by the way, which is also crucial to have a split between the vehicle ownership and the battery ownership, because this is only when users will actually be able to or allow their battery to be degraded for an additional use case, because otherwise nobody will allow, for example, this Tesla owner here most likely will not want a couple of cents yield in order to help to feed the energy back into the grid. It's not a viable business case for him. But for NIO it's different. They have built a different system in which the vehicle ownership and battery ownership are detached. And so this is a very unique system for NIO, and I think it will play out in the future, and we'll see the first adoptions now being made to the pricing. So let me know in the comments what you think about it. I hope that was clear. NIO has been doing this, running this for a very long time as a way of marketing and a user acquisition tool, which I think is normal. I think it will continue for a while, but overall it will be phased out when the ET5 is coming in larger numbers, when the ES6, those higher volume models are coming. Then at some point they will let users know that the new users have to pay for it at some point in time. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.